The hell you did? You can't just undo 10 hours of work.
I had to. Your revamp risks power imbalance between decks, something we solved back home.
It's twice as efficient. Just because it doesn't match your sainted specs.
And now it does. As you say, deal with it.
Callow.
I know, just please don't let this distract you.
Ket genetics defies everything we know. They're bits of different species, and yet all Ket. It's bizarre, horrifying, fascinating, all at once.
If you and the rest of the team could figure them out, it might make a huge difference.
Already on it, Pathfinder.
I'm still fuzzy about how we managed to see Andromeda all the way from home.
It confused me too. I mean, the light lag would have made any data 2 million years out of date. So I asked Dr. Aridana, and she told me, well, it wasn't her tech that did it. It was the Geths.
You're kidding. Those killer robots we had in the Milky Way?
Those exact ones. The Initiative obtained data from an array in deep space, a Geth construct. According to Aridana, the Geth rebuilt a mass relay and turned the approach corridor into an FTL sensor.
FTL sensor. So a faster-than-light telescope? They could survey Andromeda as it was?
Not exactly, but it cut down the lag by enough. We don't know why the Geth were interested in observing beyond the galaxy, though. Maybe we'll never know.
Did my dad know about this? Why didn't he tell me?
It's possible he didn't know. The Geth are isolationist and hostile. Using the info, even obtaining it in the first place, probably crossed a lot of boundaries.
What do you know about the Remnant's terraforming network?
From what I can tell, the vault is designed to adjust almost everything about a planet. Climate, pH of the soil, atmosphere composition. There's even evidence that it can propagate life. If we can figure out how to control the vaults, we could turn these worlds into perfect habitats.
I should get back to things.
Sounds good. Fold orbit is steady. Anomaly detected. Probe away. I found something.
was lost to space during repairs on the Nexus hull. The victim's name has been withheld until next of kin in the Milky Way is notified. This is HNS. Species are at odds as talks break down over a unified curriculum of war initiative.
Things are still going smoothly without me to look over them?
We're good. I told you we'd manage.
Damn. You could have at least pretended the transition was difficult.
That's ridiculous. Why would you say that?
Maybe he thought he was being honest.
I wonder what my dad would think of all this. Would he have encouraged the move? Come with us if he could?
I'm sure he would have, to be with you guys.
Yeah, I think so too. Sid doesn't remember anything about him, but I do. I think he might have liked it here.
A reminder that alcoholic beverages must be consumed within private quarters or at the vortex. Consumption of alcohol in public spaces is
They offered to
strictly
put me on the transfer list for an outpost, but I said no. Sure. Let me know what materials you need and I'll find you something. That's a relief.
Seems quiet for now. Look, Jonesy.
I know. This isn't what I signed up for either.
Here, make them know. Make them lead or make them go.
Hey, what's going on?
That's your new galaxy. Making speeches about some fresh start while your kids stay frozen.
And it's all thanks to your Pathfinder.
Excuse me?
We've waited months for our families to come out of stasis. They should have gone to your outpost.
But since you think research is so important, military personnel got bumped down the list. Like my clan brothers.
All the reassignments mean they're in 10 different colony blocks now.
And my mother just got caught in the middle.
I founded the outpost. I didn't decide who would stay in stasis.
You don't care that you've torn families apart?
That's not what I said.
Maybe you could still make this right. I just want Mom out of stasis. That's all anyone here wants.
You do stasis revivals. You can tell our leaders you're opening those pods. Today.
I authorize whole colony blocks or a few emergency revivals. I can't wake dozens of random people.
We don't care whose finger pushes the button. If you can't, our leaders can. And if you tell them, they will.
Okay, I'll talk to the leadership about what we can do.
14 months of promises. It's time for some results.
We tried petitioning Addison. She ignored us. Screw her.
Start with Kandros. He sent those 10 soldiers over there. Maybe he'll take us seriously. Our Nexus, our lives!
Tell our leaders, wake the sleepers!
Make them hear.
As sleepers wake from stasis, the initiative urgently requires blood, tissue, and DNA donations. See a medic if you think you may be eligible. This is HNS.
Attention, civil disobedience has been reported in hydroponics. Security is
Another brawl on
investigating.
the docks. Probably smuggling trouble again.
So authorize a sweep. Not everything has to come through me.
The patrol trained under Kelly.
Supply request is in. Dispatching to your location.
Push back. So that's what the Kett are up to. Transforming people into willing slaves?
Now we know why they take so many prisoners.
Well, they're sure as hell not taking any more.
I need to talk to you about stasis revival and those protesters in hydroponics.
I see. Maybe I should get the others for this.
Protesters have seized hydroponics?
They want their families out of stasis. The outpost on Eos disrupted the schedule. They're scattered across colony blocks. Dozens of people. The protesters want this fixed today.
The realities of our position are...
We can't wake those families. We don't have the resources, and there's nowhere to put them.
Then what's the point of all those outposts I've founded?
People need more than Space Rider. They need work they're trained for, and we don't have placements for those families. If I just toss them to any outpost with a spare bunk, they become a burden we can't afford.
What do you suggest?
Leave the families in stasis where it's safe and get those protesters out of hydroponics. They seem sympathetic, but so did the exiles. We can't risk another revolt. Survival is more important than family reunions.
Do you think these protests could turn violent?
We're all pioneers. Even civilians are tough enough to start something.
And interfering in hydroponics threatens our oxygen supply. They know that.
What would you do with the protesters?
I'd send in a squad and march them out. At gunpoint if we must. If they resist, a few might land in medbay, but it's better than losing hydroponics. Or the Nexus.
These people aren't the enemy. We didn't come all this way to rip families apart. We'll manage the resource squeeze somehow.
Your compassion is admirable, but...
Guess we're all tightening our belts.
You can run a stasis override command from operations. I hope the rest will be that easy.
Attention all personnel. The Angaran diplomatic team has arrived on the Nexus.
No, it isn't what we wanted, but what choice do we have? How the hell should I know?
Okay, sending the override command. The stasis pods should start unlocking.
You're really doing this? I was at the protest in hydroponics. I thought we'd just get more excuses. But we already lost a year waiting for our families. I'm glad it's time.
I know exactly what you're feeling. My family has suffered too.
Then you know why this matters. My mom was scared something would go wrong and she'd be awake in stasis all that time. She isn't... It doesn't work like that, but I just want her out, so I know.
Override complete. Stasis revival triggered on the Nexus. For Jasper K, Griffith G, Hilkvist A, Demerchi P, Kozlov S.
There! That's her!
Why are you still here? Go be the face your mom wakes up to.
I will. Thank you.
Given new resource allocation, personnel in stasis on the Hyperion may now be required to wait longer.
When it's time, you'll have a home to wake up to. I promise.